talking about a home. Talking about me and you. Things we'll do. I said a home. Talking about a home. Not talking about a one-night stand. I wanna be your man. I said a home.
From the people who bring you Charleston Home and Design Magazine, the Charleston Home and Design Show, the Custom Home and Remodel Show, and Charleston's online home show, newhomecharleston.com, this is Talking About a Home. Talking About a Home is a home show on the radio, featuring interviews with local experts, home tips, trends, and ideas you need to know to make your home better. I'm Michael Blaze with 5 Star Real Estate, and this is Talking About a Home.
Good afternoon. I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and I want to thank you for listening to Talking About a home show on the radio. In addition to our radio show Talking About a Home, we also publish Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and you may be familiar with the 3 custom home shows we organize: the Charleston Home and Design Show, which takes place every January, Charleston's Open Air Home Show, which takes place every April at Family Circle Stadium on Daniel Island, and the Custom Home and Remodel Show and Hurricane Expo, which is coming up August 16th through the 18th at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. Well, today's radio show is coming to you from Energy One America, and they're one of the sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show. And we'll be talking with Dan Poe with Energy One America, also Heidi Hefner with Bennett Hofford Construction, Trevor Van Etten with Innovative Theater and Sound, and we're also going to be listening to the audio from 2 videos that we recently shot with Cook Bonner Construction and also Southeast Kitchens. And these videos are associated with stories that are in this summer issue of Charleston Home and Design Magazine. And joining us are the editors of Charleston Home and Design Magazine, Christy Conway and Megan Bush. How you doing, ladies?
I'm doing great, Tim. Thanks.
Me too. Thank you.
Well, Christy, we 2 of the stories that are in the summer issue of Charleston Home and Design Magazine are we're going to be listening to today. And could you kind of tell us a little bit more about some of the other stories that you'll find in the new summer issue of Charleston Home and Design Magazine?
Sure, Tim. We're really excited about this summer issue, mainly because it's the shopping guide. It's our annual shopping feature. So it really gives homeowners an opportunity to learn what comes when and how to build your home. So when to pick the builder, when to pick the furniture, when to pick the lighting and whatnot. So it's very informative. And then on top of that, we've got some great eye candy features just for people who want to kind of get an idea on how to decorate.
Awesome. And if you're interested in picking up the new issue of Charleston Home and Design Magazine, you can go to our brand new website at charlestonhomeanddesign.com and find a location where you can pick up a free issue of Charleston Home and Design Magazine. And to tell us about the new website, Megan Bush, one of our editors with Charleston Home and Design Magazine.
Thank you, Tim. Our website is really awesome, I think. It's been about 5 years since we have done a complete redesign, and it was time for it. On the website, you'll find several features. You can read the magazine online, listen to Talking About a Home, the home show on the radio. You can watch video exclusives, connect with our social media, find out information about our home shows, and most importantly, I think we have a home professionals resource guide where you can actually search local businesses. You can see videos, editorial coverage, as well as photos associated with that business. And then finally, we have a blog that is feeding into our new website. It's going to basically focus on new home and design trends in the area.
Great. Christy, tell us about the person on the cover of our summer issue of Charleston Home and Design Magazine.
Sure. Well, that would be Brad Van Loo, the Charleston Adventurer, as we've kind of coined him. He's a really, really fun and interesting guy that lives in Ion, and not only is he a sailor, but he's an aviator, and also he's really just a very interesting person, constantly with new stories, and I think we've done a great job covering who he is, where he lives, and kind of his design style.
And Brad is famous for sailing around the world alone. in that sailboat race a couple of years ago, and I just cannot imagine what that must have been like. And we talked to him about his sail around the world, right?
Yes, I think it was called the Around the World Alone, or they've changed the name a few times. But yes, he's done that 3 times, the only American to do that. So he's quite fascinating.
Interesting. And so Megan, on the new website charlestonhomeanddesign.com, a lot of times people are just trying to figure out who to call, the contacts and so forth. And not only are we providing a list of good reputable companies, but then also showing some of their work on our website.
Absolutely. The home professionals section is really going to be a useful tool for homeowners, because what they can do is, let's say they're looking for an architect. All you have to do is go on our site and click architects. We have several of them listed. You can see their pictures, you can see their editorial coverage, you can watch videos with these architects. It's a useful tool. You can kind of get a feel of their work and their personality all in one spot.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining us, and enjoy today's show, and have a great holiday weekend. I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and I want to thank you for listening to Talking About a Home show on the radio. Today's radio show is coming to you from Energy One America, located at 454 Jessen Lane, just off of Clements Ferry Road. And Energy One America is one of the sponsors of Home and Remodel Show, which is coming up August 16th through the 18th. And so for the next few weeks, we're going to be visiting some of the different sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show. As I mentioned, coming up August 16th through the 18th at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. And now we're talking with Dan Poe with Energy One America. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing just fine.
Good. Dan, take a few moments and tell everybody about Energy One America.
Energy One America is the largest spray foam insulation company of its type in the region. And we are growing rapidly because of our expertise and training for all of our personnel and the types of projects that we'll work on. We'll work on both residential type new construction and remodel, as well as we have an entire commercial division that sprays hospitals, doctor's offices, military bases, schools, and the application is becoming much more widely used in the commercial market as well.
Gotcha. Now, there's 2 different types of spray foam insulation, right? There's closed cell and open cell. Can you talk about the differences in the uses of each one?
The open cell and closed cell both will insulate and both will air seal. But what it's closed to is moisture transfer. Mm-hmm. So the closed cell spray foam in a crawl space or some situation where moisture would easily come through the foam or the foam would absorb that moisture, we use a closed cell spray foam to stop that moisture transfer. The open cell, you always hear in construction that the house has to breathe. Mm-hmm. Well, that breathing is directly related to moisture and dew point formations, and the open cell foam will allow the house to still breathe, so the moisture can escape the house or come into the house if need be through that type of a foam.
Mm-hmm. For residential purposes, which type, closed or open cell spray foam, do most homeowners choose?
It really becomes a location issue. The closed cell spray foam will add 250% strength to the structure of the home at a 3-inch depth. It actually has a wind rating of 190 miles an hour, and coastal areas such as Folly Beach, Isle of Palms, Sullivan's Island typically would go with the closed cell because of the moisture intrusion along the water. Either foam will work. The open cell spray foam is a little bit less expensive and is a lot easier to get into a really tight attic space because I can stand back at a distance and still get the foam applied to the surface as opposed to having to be right there. Mm-hmm. So in a tight soffit area or something, the open cell foam works much better.
Gotcha. So, for example, when Energy One America is spray foaming a house using closed cell spray foam insulation, you would go up to the attic area, right, and spray foam the roof sheathing, which is basically kind of like the ceiling if you're standing up in the attic, but it's the it's what's underneath the roofing material, right?
Correct. Both foams, the idea of the foam is to block the heat energy from ever getting into that attic space. A typical attic in the south would range in the 140 to 150 degree temperature range on any given day in the summertime. With the spray foam, we prevent 95 to 97% of that energy ever getting into that space. The temperature in the attic drops dramatically, and we seal all of the soffits, gable ends, fans, and all that stuff would be sealed completely so that we don't have influence of outside energy into that space. We can totally control that environment, which eliminates any chances of dew point formation in the attic, therefore eliminates all of the moisture issues in that space.
Right, and when you walk into an attic space that has spray foam insulation in the summertime, it's in the 70 degrees range versus, you know, over 100 degrees if it had conventional insulation.
Right. Well, typically what we're looking for is that temperature is going to be within 7 or 8 degrees of whatever you keep the house at.
There you go.
That's really what we're looking at. And the humidity will stabilize with the house. So if you have a 50% humidity in the house, you would be running a 50% humidity in the attic. So the dew point chances go away.
Gotcha. Now, what I was referring to when you spray foam the interior of an attic, the roof sheathing, is that's when that closed cell spray foam attaches itself to the roof sheathing and the rafters that are up there. That's what creates that structural strength, so that when we have a hurricane, if you have closed cell insulation, not only are you getting the energy savings, those benefits, but you're also strengthening your roof, and that's one of the biggest areas where people experience with a hurricane is they'll lose their roof, and then all the water comes in, and then it becomes sometimes your insurance company won't. Once you lose your roof, they'll say, well, this is a flooding issue, not a wind and hail kind of thing. And so if you can keep your roof on, you're gonna save the interior of your house.
One of the tests that was done in the state of Florida, they actually take a fire hose and blow the shingles off of the roof, and they do that for a duration of time, and that's part of the testing that this foam goes through. And it has to be able to have no water intrusion into that space to pass this wind rating test.
Good deal. Now, either closed cell or open cell spray foam insulation from Energy One America, it can be applied if you have an existing home as well as new construction.
Yes.
Okay.
And one of the great benefits of the foam, and talking about storms and other related issues, is with the soffit sealed, because that lower ventilation is all closed. The wind energy can't get underneath that lip of the roof, and that's usually where the failure would be. So that's part of what adds the strength, and that happens both with open cell and closed cell.
Gotcha. So if somebody has an existing home, they maybe have the traditional pink insulation up there in the attic. They're losing money every month because that insulation that is old-fashioned. It's not really performing the way closed or open cell spray foam insulation performs.
40% of all the energy loss in a home is due to infiltration of outside air, or when that outside air comes in, your inside air has to get out to replace it. The pressure differences force air to move. The difficulty with fiberglass is that air will move right through fiberglass. So when your soffit vent picks up air and your ridge vent lets out air, what's happening is it's creating a vacuum. So around all of your light fixtures, every penetration through that ceiling area is drawing the colder air out of the house up into that attic space and then out through the roof venting. So a lot of the loss is prevented when we spray foam the attics.
Gotcha. And so a homeowner that has an existing home, they can improve their efficiency, energy efficiency in their home by adding closed or open cell spray foam from Energy One America. And so it's not limited to just new construction. You can get into existing homes. Does Energy One America do quite a few existing homes?
Probably 50% of our work is existing structures in the region. We have 5,000 or 6,000 homes that we have insulated that were retrofit type projects. We regularly work in existing construction. We're looking at saving 40 to 50% of the energy bill. My single best testimony was 70% that we cut a girl's power bill by in West Ashley. The energy costs nowadays, because SCE&G already has rate increases built into their system, they're looking at 12 to 15% increases in the cost of energy within the next year. Spray foam now is becoming very, very competitive with fiberglass, and even if you were going to add more fiberglass, you'd almost find that the cost of the spray foam would be very close to what the fiberglass cost would be. The spray foam will guarantee the energy savings where the fiberglass cannot.
Yep. And this was surprising to me when I had my house spray foamed with closed cell spray foam insulation, was that if you had to choose, if you had to prioritize the areas to have spray foam insulation put in, it would be the attic area would be number one. The crawl space underneath the floor being number two, and the walls themselves not as important, right?
That's correct. 60% of all the energy into or out of a house is through the top area of the roof. So if you can put a good hat on, basically, or it'd be almost like moving your house underneath a big shade tree, you're going to see that difference in energy by dealing with the top first. Underneath the house, you're looking at about 25 to 30% of the energy that's used in the home, but what you're really looking at underneath is you're looking at almost 100% of the moisture in the house comes up from the bottom. So you can stop that moisture flow, which controls the humidity, makes the house much more comfortable. And it stops a lot of that polluted air that would be coming up from underneath the house from entering into the house. So molds and pollens and things that would be under there won't make it into your living space. The walls are the last 10 to 15%, and out of that, a lot of the energy is through the windows.
Yeah, so homeowners don't have to worry about, how are they going to get access to the walls? Are they going to have to tear off my siding or drill in from the sheetrock inside the house? You probably don't do very many wall sections in existing homes.
Not in existing homes. We do have the ability, and we have done it, mostly for sound control, but it can be done that way. It is much more expensive, and the return on it is nowhere near as good as dealing with the roof structure or dealing with the crawl space underneath, which are much easier to get to.
Sure. Well, tell everybody how they can get in touch with Energy One America.
Energy One America, the best way to get in touch with us is go to our website, which is energyoneamerica.com, and we have a block there that you can fill in your name, address, and phone number, as well as review a lot of the products to find out what you're interested in. That's the single best way. The other way would be to call into the office. We're here pretty much 6 days a week, and that number is 843-388-6260.
Okay, great. Well, this is very definitely a topical thing with the heat and humidity, trying to and your the power bills that you're going to be getting to cool your house this time of year. Give Energy One America a call if you want to try to reduce some of those energy costs. And once again, many thanks to Energy One America, not only for hosting today's radio show, but for also being a sponsor of the Custom Home and Remodel Show. Thank you. And we have been talking with Dan Poe with Energy One America. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from Energy One America, located at 454 Jessen Lane, just off of Clements Ferry Road. And we're very proud to have Energy One America as one of the sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show coming up August 16th through the 18th at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. And now we're talking with Heidi Hefner with Bennett Hofford Construction Company. How you doing, Heidi?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Heidi, why don't we start off by having you tell everybody about Bennett Hofford Construction Company?
Well, we are obviously a construction company, and we've been building homes in Charleston for over 30 years. We certainly have a well-recognized name in the high-end luxury home construction market.
Gotcha. Okay. And where around town in the last 30 years has Bennett Hofford Construction Company built homes?
Certainly all over the eastern coast, but mostly on Kiowa Island is where we have made our name. Certainly that stretches out to areas like Seabrook and Wadmalaw, but mostly on Kiowa Island.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I understand that that Bennett Hoffer Construction Company has a project in the works, and you've been working on this project for quite some time, and you're kind of giving us a little inside scoop on this new project. Can you tell us what we're about this project?
Certainly. We have been working on a new project for, yes, quite some time. It's been about a year now, and this is in downtown Charleston, which is certainly an area that we're very excited to be launching construction in. We started looking at the real estate market about a year ago and had a piece of property brought to us that was available, and really started sensing that the market was changing, and it was a great opportunity for us to come in and offer some new construction product in the downtown Charleston area. And we jumped on it, did a lot of planning, a lot of thinking, a lot of research, and we ended up buying the property, and we have master planned a new neighborhood. It's in the Harleston Village area of the Peninsula of Charleston, and it's called Halsey Park.
Great, great. Well, congratulations to Bennett Hoffer Construction Company on that. And
Thank you.
What part of town of downtown is Harleston Village?
That is a neighborhood that is below Calhoun Street and sort of butts up to the edge of the College of Charleston campus area and reaches towards Colonial Lake. And I guess it sort of stops at Broad Street. So there's if you were to kind of just look at a big square that would hover over that area, that's the Harleston Village neighborhood.
Gotcha. Okay. And is there a name for this new development?
The development is called Halsey Park.
Halsey Park.
Yes.
Okay. So so Bennett Hoffer Construction Company, you folks were able to buy a tract of land, and how many homes or townhomes are planned for this new Halsey Park neighborhood?
The neighborhood itself, it sits on about 2.6 acres, which is, for downtown Charleston, quite a large piece of land. You
Sure.
certainly don't have that anywhere, and that was one of the reasons why we thought it was such a great opportunity. We took that block of land and thought of a plan that made sense, and we divided it up into 19 lots that were good size for Charleston. They're obviously not huge, but they're great for being able to design those wonderful Charleston homes that a lot of people love. And we also incorporated a park in the center of it, which was a very nice amenity for a neighborhood that you wouldn't normally get in downtown. So that's a great feature. And it also has a pathway design that connects the streets that all of the neighbors can use, including Harleston Village neighbors. A lot of people like to walk their dogs in that area, and it's a beautiful piece of the downtown area that is not as well known, because most people haven't realized that there was a piece of land sitting there that didn't have anything on it. So
Right.
very, very pretty area.
Yeah, and what really I think makes this new development, Halsey Park, unique. First of all, it's new construction in downtown
Absolutely.
Charleston.
That was one of the key factors when we started researching the ability to look at this project. Was we went to some real estate agents that we've always trusted and said, what's going on in the market, and what do you not have? We wanted to provide something that people couldn't get, and what we were hearing was there were a lot of buyers coming that wanted to buy in downtown, but the only thing that was available were older structures that usually had a list of issues that someone needed to solve, and wasn't necessarily the perfect thing. And when you look at a higher price point home and buyer, they want it all. And we have the ability now with this project to build a single family home that solves all their problems, that doesn't have a lot of the headaches associated with downtown, such as parking or large closets or big gourmet kitchens or wide open floor plans. So it is new construction that is going to solve a lot of problems. So we're hoping that the buyers coming in are are going to love it.
Sure. Yeah, a lot of the old homes in downtown Charleston, they were never built with closets. And people used armoires.
Well, it's a
and-
different day and age, and the nice thing now about coming in with new construction is that we can design it, architecturally speaking, to really fit in with downtown Charleston. People come here because they love the ambiance, they love the architecture that you don't find in other places, the historical references, and so we incorporated a team of architects and people who understood that we could provide a new construction home that looks like it fits in with the beauty of Charleston.
Mhm. Gotcha. So, so if someone was interested in buying a home in downtown Charleston, they wanted new construction, they could look at Halsey Park as an option
Absolutely.
because if they were to try to find there are some scattered lots throughout the peninsula,
Certainly.
but you're going to be dealing with some of those issues you just mentioned. There'll be is there any off-street parking? Is there any on-street parking? Things like that. And when you have a development such as Halsey Park, you folks are doing all the legwork to solve all those problems up front,
Yes.
rather than a homeowner having to do that on their own.
Absolutely. And it is certainly the opportunity to come in and still design the home that you want. We're taking it one step at a time. We're starting with the design of some townhomes, but there are all the other lots that a buyer could come in and look at if they wanted to sort of start from scratch and work with us to build their home. So it like I said, it's a little bit of a clean slate to come in and solve some problems for the buyers that are coming to Charleston now, and Charleston is a hot market. There's a lot of people coming here. We've gotten a lot of great press lately, so it's becoming, even in downtown, a market for the secondary home buyer that would have normally flocked to the islands for their vacation home. A lot of them want to be right in town. They want to be near the restaurants. They want to be able to ride their bike, and this is a great area to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the person who wants to live in downtown Charleston, I remember when I first moved here in 1990, I lived in Mount Pleasant first, and I asked a friend of mine who I worked with up north who had moved here, why don't you live in Mount Pleasant? And they said, I didn't move to Charleston to live in Mount Pleasant. I moved to Charleston to live in downtown Charleston.
Well, no knock to Mount Pleasant. I grew up there too. So Charleston just elicits a certain type of buyer. It certainly isn't for everyone, but there are a lot of, I guess people say the empty nester term, where they've had their larger home and they just want to be in, something that's more maintenance free, i.e. new construction. They want to be in an area where they can get out and about and, not necessarily have to go mow the lawn all the time. So it's just a certain type of buyer. It's not for everyone, but it's definitely a lot of the buyers that we're seeing coming to Charleston these days.
Gotcha. So there are the first phase of Halsey Park will be these 6 townhomes that will be constructed. And
when we saw the site, it hit us immediately. We certainly love the architecture of downtown Charleston and the history of the area. There is a row of townhomes that always caught our eye on Bull Street, which a lot of people know and love, and we wanted to make a nod to that. And our site overlooks the Alberta Long Lake as well as the Ashley River, so we have some beautiful views, and it just, we thought it was the perfect setting for another row of townhomes. Like we said, designed new, nice open floor plans, but a nod to the historical architecture. So that is the first thing that we're launching with. It's a row of single-family attached townhomes with, I think, beautiful architectural details. They overlook the Ashley River. We've designed them to have rooftop decks, so it's not an afterthought to be able to go up and enjoy your view. We designed elevators into the buildings, a lot of details that just make it a beautiful launch to the project, and it will be surrounded by the rest of the single-family homes that are ultimately designed to be on the site.
I love rooftop decks. You're definitely pushing the right buttons, and a lot of people are going to respond when they hear about those features.
We think so. Like I said, the views are great. The sunset from that side of the river is absolutely stunning. The rooftop decks are large enough that you can consider it in a complete additional outdoor entertaining space of your home, not just a porch that's on the home. We've incorporated fireplaces and, like I said before, the idea of the elevator getting you up there, so it's a part of your home.
Perfect,
Beautiful.
perfect. Well, how can folks learn more about Halsey Park and also talk to you, to Bennett Hofford Construction Company in general?
Well, they can certainly simply call us on the telephone if they'd like. My name is Heidi Hefner. I am the Land Development Project Manager. Hank Hofford, our owner, is absolutely, the face and the name of the company, and he's loves what he does, so he's a joy to talk to. So feel free to call him directly, and they can call our phone number, 722-8169. My extension is 239. I can certainly help with any Halsey Park questions. And if somebody would just like to speak to Hank as well, his extension is 224.
Great. And is there a website for Bennett Hofford Construction Company?
Absolutely. BennettHoffordConstruction.com.
Very good. Okay. Well, we have been talking with Heidi Hefner with Bennett Hofford Construction Company, giving us the inside scoop on a brand new downtown Charleston development called Halsey Park. Thanks so much, Heidi.
Thank you.
If you're just joining us, I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and today's radio show is coming to you from Energy One America, located at 454 Jesson Lane, just off of Clements Ferry Road. And Energy One America is one of the sponsors of the Custom Home and Remodel Show, which is coming up August 16th through the 18th at the Citadel's Johnson Haygood Stadium. And now we're talking with Trevor Van Etten with Innovative Theater and Sound. How you doing, Trevor?
Great. How you doing, Tim?
Good, good. Trevor, take a few moments and tell everybody about Innovative Theater and Sound.
Well, Innovative Theater and Sound has been in business since 2005. We're a locally owned and operated company. We select our products based on whether they're built and manufactured here in the United States, so we're proud to say that the majority of our products are.
So, Trevor, what kinds of, give me kind of a general list of items that Innovative Theater and Sound can help a homeowner with in their home. What types of products are we talking about?
Well, we do everything from very simple hanging, TVs that people want on the wall or above a fireplace, and we are also, if the client is asking for it, doing energy conservation with window shades and blinds, lighting control, being able to monitor and coordinate everything that's happening outside of the home and having the home react to that by measuring the energy consumption. Mm-hmm. So if it's a bright sunny day, the shades will lower to keep the ambient heat, radiant heat from the windows coming in. And that's all automated, so nobody's constantly running around the house and trying to pull blinds, pull shades. Same with lighting control, is that after 85% of an incandescent bulb, excuse me, it is only, that's at full light output. And so with lighting control, we set that to 85%, so we're saving you 15% on heat output. So that keeps your HVAC from going on constantly. So we're able to conserve and monitor the energy that's being used in the home.
Gotcha. Now, those are some of the kind of utilitarian things that Innovative Theater and Sound can do. Talk about some of the more the more fun things that homeowners are asking for. Obviously, that you've got that word theater and sound in your name, Innovative Theater and Sound. If somebody, well, first of all, let me ask you a question. Can some of these different items be installed in existing homes, or is it just new construction?
Yes, they can be in existing homes. We have several products that use several different technologies, the most being mesh networks and RF technology that will allow you to distribute music and lighting throughout the house. So if you have the old dummy switches and you want to be a little more energy conservative, you can swap it out with a RF-based lighting control system. And then music, we use a product called Sonos that's very popular, and it can do iTunes, Rhapsody, Pandora. It has like 32 streaming services in it. So if you're a music lover, that's definitely the way to go. You don't have to have speakers in the ceiling. We can add those, or they have their all-in-one set top or set on the desk type speaker. Really easy to use. It's a free app on the iPhone and iPad and Android and everything else. As far as the theater goes, we are well known for our over-the-top theaters. We're doing one out on the islands now, and that will be a reference level. You're in the movie theater experience. So we're really proud about that, and have y'all come out and take some pictures when it's done.
Sure. What do you mean by that specifically?
As far as
It being an over-the-top system, what makes it over the top?
what makes it over the top is the client did not skimp on anything, and it's not that it's the most expensive products, but they fit the space well, and it's the best bang for their buck. And again, they're American-made speakers, BG Radio out of Carson City, Nevada. It'll subwoofers, 7 channels of audio, Cary audio amplifiers and processors, which are made in Cary, North Carolina. So yeah, I mean, it's just they went with almost the best of the best, but without paying exorbitant prices.
Very good. Now, how does what's the difference between a home theater system that Innovative Theater and Sound could install versus like one that you would buy at Best Buy?
Okay. Well, Best Buy is a consumer grade product, and you never know what you're going to get over there as far as service. The guy may have come from selling appliances one day, and now he's trying to sell you a TV. I've experienced it myself going in there. All our products are, within reason of price and are very comparable to Best Buy's prices. They're just better quality. They're not, it's not a turnover of how much we can sell of any one product. It's what fits the homeowner and their situation the best.
Yeah. What if if you're talking to a homeowner, and does a homeowner typically bring you a wish list of what they would like to have in their home technologically, or are you kind of asking them questions and informing them to what's possible?
It varies. It depends on how informed the client is. So a lot of people, will do a bunch of research on the internet, because if it's on the internet, it must be true. So that can be a hindrance, and it can be a help, because we kind of know where they want to go, and then we just have to kind of steer them, what we think is best. We've used several different brands, and over the years we've nailed down which brands are reliable, good warranties, we have good relations with them, and you just get the best bang for your buck.
Mm-hmm. What if people just wanted some speakers installed in their house, on their porch, maybe in their outdoor living area, is that something Innovative Theater and Sound could help them with?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we do the whole house, single room. It doesn't matter. We've done up to 32 zones of audio in a house on Daniel Island, and we've done as many as one. Mm-hmm. So it just depends on where the homeowner feels the need to listen to their music the most. And another thing that we'll do is, because speakers vary in cost, and if they want it somewhere, but we go with a set of speakers that could be several hundreds of dollars, and they don't want several $100s worth of speakers everywhere, we'll tailor it. So we'll, in the kitchen where there's a bunch of ambient background noise, and you're not really looking for the detail or the audio quality, we'll go with the lesser, inexpensive pair of speakers, and use that money to allocate towards a better set of speakers in another room.
Mm-hmm. How would you do something like that in an existing home?
In an existing home, it is harder, but it is definitely doable. Usually we can get up through the walls. If it's on a crawl space or an attic, it makes it much easier. If it's in between floors, then that always does involve cutting drywall. And we have to bring other trades in to finish it up, but it's definitely possible.
If a homeowner does not have a spare room that to build a home theater in their own house, they want their home theater to double as their living room also, or if they don't have an equipment closet for all the various equipment, How do you help a homeowner with that kind of a situation?
Well, as good as home theaters are, everything's kind of moving to a multi-use room, just as you were speaking. So, say a living room or a den. You can have a regular flat panel TV on the wall, and then if you have the budget and want a really movie theater experience, we can drop a projector screen from the ceiling that falls down in front of the flat panel TV, and so then you have that cinematic experience. Yeah, so we supply furniture grade cabinets and entertainment centers. Something that's nice to look at, that is wire managed and cooling and power distribution, so we can keep everything nice and neat. We go in several times. Somebody's bought a piece from a furniture company or an antique shop, and they want to utilize that, but they're not taking in consideration the dimensions of the equipment, the weight of the equipment, and all the heat properties that are being generated from the equipment. Mm-hmm. So we like to get in early, and kind of facilitate a plan with the homeowner before we go in there that same day. And everything needs to be planned out. That's the only way to make it smooth and easy, and everybody's happy.
Gotcha. Well, tell everybody how they can get in touch with Innovative Theater and Sound.
You can get a hold of Innovative Theater and Sound at 843-568-9815, and we are also on the web at www.innovativetheaterandsound.com, all spelled out.
All right, good deal. Well, we have been talking with Trevor Van Etten with Innovative Theater and Sound. Thanks so much, Trevor.
Hi, I'm Christy Conway with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and I'm here in this amazing Ion home with David Ebeling of Cook Bonner Construction. David, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Okay, so this home is obviously unique. Can you tell us a little bit about why it is?
Well, the architecture, for one, it's what they call a Gothic style house, and obviously there are not that many in the Charleston area, let alone in the Ion area.
And what makes it Gothic construction-wise?
The arches on the inside as well as the out, the parapet walls, the brick facade on the outside, just the appearance in general.
And for those who don't happen to know what a parapet wall is, can you explain what that would be?
It is an exterior wall typically that extends beyond the roof line, the ridge or peak of a roof.
Is that typical with a Gothic style?
Yes.
Okay. And what you mentioned the arches. When I think arch, I think a typical curved arch. Can you explain how this arch is a little bit different? Because it's repeated throughout the house.
Correct. So there are two different arches. There are the arches inside of the house that create a back, and then there are the arches on the outside of the house which look like clovers, and those make up the exterior walls. Whereas the arches that create the barrel effect are mainly on the inside, cased opening and door tops.
Now you mentioned that this home is unique in the Ion area. Would you say that's because of the Gothic style or the size or what specific?
Probably a little bit of both, but mainly because of the Gothic style. The size, it's probably bigger than most of the houses that you'll see in the Ion. However, there are some comparable houses in size, but I think this is unique in the Gothic aspect.
Now it's what, 6,500 square feet? Is that right? 6,700 square feet. Does Cook Bonner normally do homes of that size? Build homes of that size?
We have. It's not a rarity, but most of our houses are a little bit smaller. However, we have done some bigger.
Now, would you say that Cook Bonner is a builder for Ion specifically, or would you say that you build all over the Charleston area?
We build all over the Charleston area. We're not exclusive to any one subdivision or island. We do a lot of work on Daniel Island, surrounding barrier islands, and the peninsula.
Okay, and how long has Cook Bonner been around as a builder in the area?
Since 1976. George Cook founded the company. Rick Bonner came along in the early 90s, and now they co-op. They're both owners.
Okay. And I assume they were intricately involved, I think that's a word, in the building process of this home, right?
Yes. So George typically oversees estimating, contractual agreements, and Rick oversees field production. I'm a project manager, so I was the go-to contact on this particular project.
Obviously, with a home of this size, there are a lot of challenges. What specifically kind of posed problems for you in the construction of this home?
Probably the detailing in the house was most challenging, in coordinating subcontractors and the way each detail lined up, how crown molds intersected on roof lines that weren't flat. They were arched ceilings and curved ceilings, and so the exterior posed some of those same challenges in the detailing. That was probably the biggest challenge on this project.
Now, when I was speaking with Rick Bonner, he mentioned something about the office upstairs. What I found so interesting was how every detail was reflected in the cabinetry. So it almost was like the roof line was connected with the cabinetry, and obviously that means an intersection of subcontractors working together. Were you involved in that kind of communication between them?
Yes, and we have to be as field superintendents in order to make sure that the finished product is what you're looking for, and that spring lines are where they should be, and that beams line up like they ought to, and that one subcontractor, for instance, the cabinet subcontractor, making an arch that maybe mimics an arch that the interior trim guy developed need to be the same. The radiuses need to be the same. They need to be proportional, and so on.
And that's actually your job, right, as the project manager, is to kind of be the go-between?
Correct.
And what else would you say that you do as a project manager for Cook Bonner?
Well, the most obvious, scheduling, invoicing, making sure that estimates are within budget and within reason, making sure the subcontractors show up like they're supposed to and know and understand their scope of work and understand their schedule.
So would you call yourself a kind of an advocate for the homeowner?
A liaison between homeowner, architect, and subcontractors.
What else about this home is unique that you'd like to mention? Obviously, homeowners are going to be able to see a lot within the photography, but kind of a personal kind of connection to this home. Do you have anything else that you think they should know?
Well, the clients were as good as they come, so it made this project really fun. The fact that it's unique in design made it fun and challenging usually is fun. Sometimes challenging is not fun. The house takes up most of the lot, and so the available space that we had on the lot while we were working was really tight, and that posed some challenge along the way too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to please the homeowners, but you can't impede on the neighbors, and there's so many different aspects, I would imagine, that you have to deal with to protect the integrity of the project.
Correct. So on the back side of this house, we are closest to the neighbor, and we're 3.5 feet off of the property line. And in order to install brick on a house, it's very hard to set up scaffold when you only have 3 feet to do it.
And just so I know, because I'm not quite sure, is brick a general, commonly used product in a Gothic style home?
We don't specialize in Gothic style houses, but yes, typically when you call something Gothic in nature, you associate that with brick of some sort.
Well, I think it's a fabulous design and execution. It's just so unique. You don't see that, like you were saying in the beginning of this interview. You just don't see it in the Low Country. It's usually we get pigeonholed in a certain style, and I just love walking in homes where you're seeing something a little bit different.
That makes two of us.
Now, if someone were to want to contact you guys because of your ability to do special kind of construction, what's your phone number and what is your website address?
www.cookbonner.com, and our phone number is 795-9301.
Fabulous. Well, we've been speaking with David of Cook Bonner Construction. Thank you so much, David. Hi, I'm Christy Conway with Charleston Home and Design Magazine, and I'm standing here in this gorgeous Kiowa Island home with Fran Pletz of Southeast Kitchens. Fran, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Christy. How are you?
I'm doing great, mainly because I get to spend some time out on Kiowa. So tell me about this project. Your company was quite involved in this home.
Yeah, we just celebrated our 25th anniversary last year, so we've been doing this for a while. And this particular homeowner, this is a custom home on Kiowa, and the homeowner contacted us, I guess it's about a year ago, was our first meeting, and they were looking for a cabinetry supplier that had been around for a while, and we kind of fit that bill. It was actually our 25th anniversary last year. And they told us what they were looking for in terms of the style that they wanted in this particular kitchen. is a very contemporary look that they were going for, something very clean lines and sleek lines, what we tried to do to satisfy them. And it was a fairly extensive project. We have several rooms in the house that we supplied cabinetry for and arranged for the countertops as well. We have the kitchen. We have an outdoor kitchen as well. We have a desk or office area, a laundry room, a master bath, a powder room, and 3 baths upstairs. So it was a fairly extensive project for us. And I think it turned out very well. And
I agree.
Very well.
Definitely. So, I mean, you do it all, basically, it seems like.
We're kitchen designers, okay? We carry 3 different lines of manufactured cabinets up to full custom capability. And they're very good lines that we use. We do the design work. We do the installation. I have my own install crew. We do not sub that out. It's just too crucial of a part of the job. And we just work with the homeowner to coordinate the project, or in some cases with the builder. In this case, the builder. We worked with the builder here, and the homeowner as well. So.
And what was their vision for this kitchen, kind of the centerpiece of the home, it seems?
Well, they wanted a big island, for one thing. And as we'll see soon, it is a big island where they could sit at, and also kind of a focal point for entertaining. And they wanted the backdrop to be very sleek looking, like I said, contemporary style. So we used a slab style door that is about as contemporary looking as you can get. And stainless steel hardware with the long pulls. And in the kitchen, they have transom windows, and we designed the cabinetry such that we mimic those transom windows with a transom cabinet that had a glass section in the top, so that would kind of tie together with the windows in the house.
And it lightens the room quite a bit.
It does. It's it's not a huge kitchen, but it's very comfortable in size, and it's very workable in terms of functionality.
Great for entertaining, it seems.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about kind of the design. What's the finish on this?
Okay, this is it's a slab style door, like I said. It's maple is the wood. It's solid maple. It's not a veneer. And this is a stain called butternut.
Okay.
This cabinet line that I used is Omega Cabinetry. It's a real fine line. They're out of Iowa. They've been in business for close to 100 years making and crafting cabinetry. So we use the maple here. And then in the master bath, we use the same door style and maple, but we used a chestnut color. It's a kind of a darker brown color in the bathroom.
What's so amazing is the look is so different, even though all of those elements are the same, and the only thing that's changed is the stain. It looks so completely different. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, because that gives a whole different look to it.
Right. And so that's Omega. You've got that line. And then they actually used a different line for the kitchen outdoors, which we can see right from the kitchen inside.
Right. The outdoor cabinetry is from Atlantis Cabinetry, and that's all they do is outdoor cabinetry. So out there we used it's called PermaPanel. It's a material that is weatherproof. It will last a lifetime. All of the hardware is all stainless steel. And it's designed for outdoor use. And the homeowner wanted something that was going to prevail in this, coastal climate, and this should fill the bill.
Definitely. I walked out there and I thought it was wood. I touched it and couldn't believe it. It's almost like I don't know, like made of milk bottles, that kind of consistency.
Yeah, it's a composite material, right, that's molded, and they used a granite countertop out there as well, and we have a outdoor refrigerator and a trash receptacle, and again, good for entertaining outdoors, and that's how it went with the outdoors.
So when someone comes to you with a project, you can help them with granite and things like that? You're kind of the go-between, is that the case?
We are. We don't fabricate the countertops. We have a fabricator that we use, which is Palmetto Surfacing, and I have samples of the different materials at our showroom, and people can start to get an idea there of the look that they're going for, and if they need to look at additional granite, we would send them to a granite distributor where they have the big slabs. And then once they select the granite, then we would give our fabricator the drawings for the kitchen layout, and then they do an estimate first of all, and then also after we put the cabinets in, they come out and template for the actual cutting and fabricating of the tops, which can't be done until the cabinets have been set.
But you don't just provide cabinetry. I mean, you said for a remodel, you told me before.
We're licensed in the state of South Carolina, licensed contractors, so we do, when we're doing a remodel project, this was new construction, but if we're doing a remodel project, we would do all those same things I mentioned as far as the design and the supply, but we also then would do turnkey operations for people. And we have subcontractors that we would use for like electrical and plumbing, if there's any framing work, if we're taking a wall out or something like that. But we coordinate all of that for the homeowner. And so we can do a full turnkey, so they only have to work with one person instead of 3 or 4.
That's nice. Okay, well, I do want to get back to this project specifically, mainly because we haven't touched on the bathrooms upstairs. And you said that was actually a third provider of cabinetry?
Right. For upstairs, the upstairs bath, which there's 3 of, we use Kitchen Craft cabinetry, and that's out of Canada. And it's a frameless cabinet as opposed to this is a face frame cabinet here with Omega. And they just wanted a plain shaker-style door and a white finish, so that's what we provided upstairs. But they used the granite, different types of granite and quartz upstairs as well. So a lot of people now are trending more towards quartz than granite because it's a completely maintenance-free item. You never have to seal it. So it's become very popular, and a lot of the new colors that they're coming out with are very natural looking. Where in the past they were more homogeneous looking, they are man-made, but they looked man-made. Now they're looking much more natural, like granite. So.
Well, so those represent the 3 lines that you sell, basically, everything in this home?
We have an additional line of Play-Doh cabinetry, which we also carry.
Well, is there anything you want to add about this project, your favorite room, something that you found fascinating?
Well, I really like the way this island turned out. It was
a unique shape.
It is, and we struggled with the shape and the geometry to make sure all of the lines were parallel and everything in the kitchen and providing good clearances. So, I mean, it can seat probably 7 people at this
comfortably.
raised bar. Yeah, so it'll be a nice entertainment and focal point for the homeowner. And no, it was the whole thing was just fun. It was fun to do. The homeowner was really good to work with, and they should be moving in shortly.
Good. They want to take advantage of this. So what do you recommend for homeowners to get a hold of you to maybe learn more about what you do?
Well, we have a website. It's www.sekitchens.com, and you can go on there. It talks about what we do, the services we provide, the products we provide. There's a pretty extensive portfolio on there of work.
Being in business for 25 years.
Yeah, portfolio. We try to keep it current as much as we can. With projects we've done, we'll be posting pictures of this one on there shortly. And that's one way. We're also located on Folly Road on James Island, right almost a half mile off the connector from downtown. We've been there for 20 of our 25 years, and we have a nice showroom and selection center there for people to come in and see us or pick up a telephone, call us, and we're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 2, or by appointment if those times don't work for an individual.
And what's your phone number?
Our phone number is 795-8809.
Okay. Well, we've been speaking with Fran from Southeast Kitchens. Thank you so much for speaking with me.
Thank you.
I'm talking about a home. Talking about me and you. The things we'll do. I said a home. I'm not talking about a one-night stand. I want to be your man. I said a home.
You've been listening to Talking About a home show on the radio. Talk Home is brought to you by the publishers of Charleston Home and Design magazine and the organizers of the Charleston Home and Design Show and the Custom Home and Remodel Show. To make contact with any of the companies featured today, Visit newhomecharleston.com, Charleston's online home show, and home to over 200 local home-related companies motivated to work with you.